Hello and welcome back to your COVID-19 lockdown online classes. This is P4 and P5 lesson 4. After this, I will be posting another separate video for each of you where I'll discuss your previous lesson, or it would be lesson 2. Okay, I'll discuss lesson 2 with you in a different video, but for now, let's just look at P4 and P5 first. Okay, you have different questions, but your format for this week are very similar. We will be looking at context clues and comprehension. Okay, so the reason I'm giving you these exercises are because in a lot of ways vocabulary and comprehension are very closely related. Okay, if you know the words, chances of you understanding the passage would be a lot higher. If you understand what's happening in the passage, a lot of times, even if you don't know a word, you could learn the meaning of a word through the passage and through the context. Okay, so context means the situation that's happening, whatever is happening in that moment, and you use that word within that moment, that would be the context surrounding it. Okay, so you can actually learn what a lot of words mean when you look at the context of the passage, even if you don't know the word or if you've never seen the word before. And that's the reason for this exercise. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you have 2 vocabulary context clues exercises, and then it will be followed by a comprehension exercise. And I want you to try to apply whatever you learn in your vocab exercise in your comprehension exercise. Okay, so hopefully as I go through this, you will get a better understanding of what you need to do and what I'm saying as well. So context clues, look at the blue box that I've given to you. Okay, context clues are hints to the meaning of a different word. These hints can be in the same sentence or in the sentences before or after the sentence that uses the difficult word. Okay, so if a word that comes up in this sentence, you can look either in the same sentence for a clue that tells you the meaning of that word, or you can look in the previous sentence. For example, sometimes they would say, this means that blah 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 blah. Okay, so then the sentence that comes after the word is explaining what that word means. Okay, so they have used the word, and now you need to look in the following sentence to understand what it means. The passage is actually explaining it to you already, so you don't have to look up a dictionary for this situation, right? You actually can learn as you go along, and this is one of the reasons why I encourage you all to read so much, because a lot of times when you read one story and you see a word that you're not familiar with, but then you remember that word, and then you read another story and you see that word again, you read another story and you see that word again. When you see that same word come up in different contexts or stories, you begin to have an understanding of what the word actually means. Okay, and that's why learning vocabulary and comprehension through reading is just the best way to go. There's no other way. I can teach you all the vocabulary there is, but it's a lot more difficult to try to jam in all these new vocab into your head than to just see it repetitiously in all the different cases that you see. Okay, now, so that's what your exercise is. You do need to read slowly and focus. Okay, try to cut out all your distractions. Tell your little brothers or sisters to give me some time. Okay, I'm not going to play for a little while. You do need to concentrate for this exercise, and because it is a little bit more challenging, I did give you less questions this week. Okay, so you do have to do more reading. You will have to concentrate better, but then it's not as many questions. Okay, so the task that you need to do is you need to read the sentence or read through the passage, and then there are underlined words throughout the passage. Okay, so once you see the underlined word, you know that there is going to be a hint or a clue of what that word means somewhere in the next few sentences or before that sentence. Okay, so for example, P4 and P5 actually both of your first words are the same. For P4, you are going to be looking at the water cycle, which you should be quite familiar with because you all have done these things in science. And for P5, yours is the rock cycle. Okay, so what is a cycle? For both of your passages, because it's the same word but again it's a different passage, so look at how it is used, okay? And then what sentence or phrase do you see in the sentence before that, in the same sentence or the sentence after it, that explains to you what cycle means, okay? So you don't actually have to explain or tell me the meaning of cycle, but you need to identify the clue that tells you the meaning of cycle. Does that make sense? So well, try to do it, and hopefully you will get the hang of it as you go along, okay? Look at the word that's underlined and then try to look for the clues or the explanations that tell you what the word is. Some of them are very straightforward. They'll tell you the word and then they'll tell you this means that, blah 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 blah. So then whatever they tell you is the meaning, that is your clue, okay? That explains what the word means to you already. Okay, so you have two passages for these context clues where you look for the hints and clues mean the same thing, okay? It's a little bit of information that tells you something about something else. So we know how when you solve mysteries, right? Then you need to find clues, okay? Oh, I saw footprints going through this door, so that is a clue that the person went that direction, right? And then maybe you see a broken window. Oh, maybe this could have happened. A rock could have hit the window, or maybe the person smashed the window in order to get out of that place. Okay, so these are all clues that you find along the way to discover something, to find something out. Same thing here. You are looking for clues to figure out the meaning of the word. Okay, some clues are very obvious, very blatant. They just tell you the meaning. Some of them not so much. Some they'll just give you an idea of what it could mean, and it will lead you to the actual meaning, but it doesn't tell you the meaning itself. Okay, and then you come to comprehension. So once again, for comprehension, what I want you to do for this exercise is you will be needing to apply what you've just learned in context clues to answer your comprehension question, okay? So hopefully you will get the hang of it. It's your comprehension for P4, it's okay, it's a little bit tricky. P5 especially, your comprehension passage is not easy, okay? But I do want you to try to take on this challenge. Read slowly. Remember to go back to the passage to find out what things are. If you don't remember, go back and check again. I've said this many times, there's no such thing as checking the passage too many times, okay? And for open-ended questions, don't forget to answer in full sentences. And you should be able to complete your work without any issues, okay? So have fun with that, and I will see you in your following video where I will discuss your lesson 2 with you. Okay, bye.